that is, you could be a landscaper that is invoicing, someone that you did work for in the past. So that is really what Xeemo currently is. But our mission and our goal is to actually go a step further. So we want Xeemo to be the actual community payment software. And what I mean by that is we're going to collect data and information and analytics based off of other people's spending habits, and well, not just other people, the people that are on our platform. So anyone on Xeemo that's going ahead and purchasing and buying things, we're going to collect that data and use it to better their spending experience, their purchasing experience. For instance, let's say I owned a salon or a barbershop, and there are several other salons and barbershops using the Xeemo platform in my area. On my own platform, I'm going to know information in terms of the average cost that neighboring businesses are charging. I'm also going to know, because there's so many different supplies that those kinds of businesses or any business has to purchase weekly, monthly, or annually to sustain business. So they're going to know how much that the average price is that they should be paying based off of how many people are buying on Xeemo. They're going to be able to find the lowest possible rate, just so that, and all that information is going to enhance their bottom line. So that's kind of where Xeemo is headed. But as of right now, this is what Xeemo is. And of course, you can see all the invoices that have not been paid, all the ones that have been sent, all the ones that have been paid, all on this one platform, as well as all the payments in general by name, and how much you've made to date and how much you've made today. Of course, this is just a demo account. Yeah, but that's really what Xeemo is at the moment. And the reason why we even built this is to provide more efficiency in terms of customers paying businesses and businesses sending invoices and bills out to their customers. It's a lot more abrupt and direct because of the SMS aspect, and it's a lot easier for customers to pay their bills because it's sent straight to their phone and they can pay it right on their phone without downloading anything, rather than mailing a check. I recently was reimbursed for something, and they mailed me a check. It probably took 3 weeks for them to finally get my check, and I haven't even cashed it yet because I have to go to the bank and do all of the things that it takes to do that, or scan it with my phone maybe. But either way, that's what the software is that we built, and that's currently what we're doing and where we're headed for the future. If anyone has any questions, I'm definitely open to answer some.
So I have a question for you, Toby. So if I have, let's just say I'm a new user, okay? And what it sounds like to me is that this can work similar to the Venmo app, but maybe a little bit more structured, especially like I'm a landlord or I'm a hairstylist. I could transfer my funds back and forth without the fees, the same fees as Venmo and things of that nature.
Relatively similar. So Venmo is more of a peer-to-peer money exchange. Just so if I'm going to pay my friend wants to pay me. So what Xeemo is, it's a B2C software. So if I own a business, I'm only going to collect money from my customers. Currently, you can't actually send money out with Xeemo as a client of ours. You can only pay for things that a client of ours has charged you. Now, going forward, those are some things that we will introduce in terms of just exchanging money back and forth through other people, because of the whole community aspects that we plan to build in the future.
Now, Exeemo, so they, since it's invoicing, does it work with other accounting programs such as QuickBooks?
So what I've noticed with QuickBooks is, as long as you have the same bank account attached to your Xeemo account as you do your QuickBooks account, all those transactions that pass through Xeemo will be accounted for on QuickBooks.
Okay. Well, that simplifies accounting structures then,
Right.
especially if you're a landlord or a service industry of any type. You don't have a whole lot of time. You could just send this invoice to your customers. They push a button and pay it. That's really awesome.
Right.
We do have a question. Basically, what they're asking is it still being utilized in the same way with scheduling for restaurants, et cetera, as well as the new invoicing?
Right.
So are there similarities with the two?
So what we're doing with restaurants now is if a restaurant were to sign up with Xeemo, they're not going to use it for the scheduling aspect, but strictly the payment. So if you were to go out and eat, rather than at the end of your meal, rather than them bring you a booklet with your receipt and however much you owe, they're just going to text you the bill while you're seated. So that gives you control to go ahead and pay that whenever you feel comfortable. And of course, you can leave as soon as you're done. Because a lot of times you go out to eat, you put your credit card in the check, and they may not come back for 5 minutes, and you've been ready to go.
Or the little swipe machines don't work on the tables.
Right.
So yeah, I understand. That's
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you. And to give an idea of some type of the industries that we're signing, 2 days ago we signed on auto service business. They're doing brakes, oil changes, AC. They're just servicing vehicles. Yesterday we signed a local DJ in Columbus because he's doing so many gigs and so many jobs, and he previously used Square, but he switched over to Xeemo. And I think that's kind of how we're going to get ahead and win in the fintech world and in the invoicing world, is providing our clients with that community aspect. So he's going to, if he needs to buy more DJ equipment, he can go straight to Xeemo and figure out if it's a good price from other places that he's looking at. Well, because our software is going to use all the information in terms of who's selling to figure out whether or not the equipment that he's buying is actually a fair price for him.
So you're studying the consumer behavior of your clients just the same as Amazon or Google would when they're shopping.
Right.
That's awesome and smart.
Thank you.
How long did it take for you to reprogram this particular software versus the other one?
Right. So I would say that it probably took 3 months from last March 2020. Well, not last March, but 2020 March was when we kind of decided that we wanted to rebrand what we had. Collectively, about 3 months to make it all Xeemo rather than SwiftDine. So not a terrible amount of time.
Well, I believe that I've been pronouncing your company incorrectly this entire time because I've been saying Exeemo, but it's really Xeemo, and I apologize for that. So, but it's spelled like Exeemo. But it's pronounced Xeemo,
right.
Which is like pretty.
Kind of like Xerox.
Okay, right, yeah. So that makes sense, and I do apologize for that. But Toby and I will actually be doing a podcast in regards to technology today. And if you haven't heard of the podcast, it's on the iHeart app. It's called Chamber Chatter. And it'll be available later this afternoon if you want to tune in and listen some more. And since this is being recorded, everybody will receive a copy of the recording, a copy of the questions. And also, we have one more question though. It said, why would you encourage business to use this type of app? And what are the benefits of using apps instead of traditional invoicing?
So I would encourage businesses to use this kind of software and this kind of app because business at the end of the day is about customer satisfaction, efficiency, and just growing the overall business. Now, if you're bogged down by traditional services that even if it's one day that it takes longer to do one activity, you have X amount of clients and X amount of customers, that one day multiplies. So if you can create a 1% more efficient tool than what you're currently doing, it's a multiplication factor. So that 1% multiplies by all of your customers over the course of the length of your business. So if you're doing business for 20 years, you can multiply that 1% by all of the business that you've ever done, and you can put an actual money value. You can put an actual value on all that time that you saved and all the new customers you're able to generate because you're not as worn down doing rudimentary activities when something can be so simple as sending a text message rather than mailing a letter, driving to the bank, or anything. And it doesn't even have to be just invoicing. There's so many different kinds of tools that just make life easier in general. And I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems that aren't just Xeemo related on the podcast later, because I'm going to be speaking about technology in general.
Well, thank you, Toby. Those are great answers because, you know, if you think about it, some people don't have the skill set to do their own accounting, so they could save on payroll by not hiring somebody to come in and do their accounting for them by generating those invoices. And, you know, if we had an accountant on here right now, I'm sure that they would tell us that a lot of their businesses, when it comes time to do taxes, are bringing in shoebox full of receipts. And this would help eliminate some of, you know, your paper storage and the madness of that. So good for you and your partners for coming up with this concept and making things, you know, paperless in a sense for transaction, you know, not only to keep everybody safe, but to help them save time and money at the same time.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I look forward to talking to you again here shortly, Toby.
Likewise.
And we'd like to once again thank Shakely and Perry ProTech for allowing this program. And we hope to see you all again next month. We have another exciting guest that will be here with us that will be talking about happiness in the workplace. So we hope that you can join us then. And I'll see you soon, Toby. Have a great trip. Be safe.
I appreciate it. See you soon.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.